So what I was saying on Furnish Finders, the way that this shit work, it's a lead. It's just straight leads.
Yeah, yeah, you were telling me.
So people think you go list your property on Furnish Finder and people gonna book it like it's Airbnb.
Yeah.
It's more so like if you list it on there, if they like it, they might message you if the
Right.
price right, if the bed and bad parking, etc.
Right.
But what's what's dope is every single day, hot leads come through there. Every single day.
I had 5 when I was talking to MJ.
Every single day. And the reason I say they hot leads, these are people who took time out of their lives to go and create a housing job, a housing post search, looking for a job, and it's their job paying for it or supplementing it, right? So if every single day these nurses are coming through, I'm messaging them while I'm at work. Well, no, I wasn't even doing that. I had my virtual assistant creating a spreadsheet and messaging them and emailing them every single day when they came through. Hey, I have properties that work for you. And then we were sending them the properties that's available. And you got pitch emails, right? But with the cars, you can just use these same leads because in DC, Maryland, Virginia, all the leads are the same. So you could pay $1,500 for 15 properties on Furnish Finders and be getting all the same names every single day. So if you want to use it for cars and you want to target specifically travel nurses, you can pay that $100 for the DC zip code, and then every single day hire a virtual assistant to create a spreadsheet. This is what I did: hire a virtual assistant, create a spreadsheet, hone in on certain KPIs, so name, budget, travel reason, bed, bath, parking, comment section, right? And then now you have a database of nurses that travel to this area. So now you have data. What we can do or figure out how to do, I just never had fool do it. Put it inside, go high level, and do an email blast or a text and send it to every last nurse. Let them know that you have rental cars available. So
I still got my Go High Level membership.
I do too. They just fucking charge me, but I should have been did that. But my virtual assistant had got sick. No, her baby got sick.
I say, have Muhammad do that shit. You know, he be looking for work.
I mean, I could easily have him do that. So I probably have like I got a database of them, but like I was doing it to prepare for the slow season. But this shit ain't slowed down yet.
Your boy just texted me, Muhammad.
For real, this shit ain't slowed down yet. So it's like last year around this time, I was shook because some of my properties wasn't booked because it's slow season. And I said, okay, next winter I'm gonna have travel nurses on deck. But like, the properties are all booked now, going into December.
You only have enough room for.
So yeah, so it's like I'm like, why am I paying this girl every week to do these daily tasks? And I don't even have properties for these people to live in. But where you can monetize it is like with the cars.
So Google's apparently having a global outage.
Oh. Google's having a
not the
global
same.
outage.
It's
A
not the
perfect topic. Let's get into it.
It's not the same.
One day, me and Alex were talking about the internet. And I told him, bro, what if the internet ever goes out? And he's like, internet can't go out. He broke it down to me, IT. He broke down. He broke down.
Nigga, I thought you was
I was recording on the mixer. Yeah. Make sure see if it's recording already.
Well, the battery's dying. Is it?
Battery's down.
Did the beat go off? Something in my face?
Battery down.
Oh, never mind. Sure. I don't know. I might talk about
Go ahead.
Nah, so I said, speaking of the internet, you said Google's having a global outage?
Yeah.
Global?
I don't know how that's possible, though.
That's insane. I mean, they about to like do something like upgrade the system, but Google, we got Google everything.
Because he sent me a screenshot where he's on support with Go High Level. That's why I fuck with Muhammad, because he's
He
going to
be
go
on
out
it.
his way.
He call them. He'll go to bat for you.
How's Muhammad?
Cause I'm like, bro, I don't feel like calling him. But
he be like, what is this you?
So look, he's funny. He's trying to get off the topic. So he told me the internet can never go out, and he showed me like, oh, they got cables underground and all this stuff. So I'm scrolling on Instagram yesterday, and I see it's probably clickbait, but it's like the internet is gonna go out at some point from like solar storms. And I sent it to him, like basically like, I bet you didn't think of this one, but I don't know, cause I'm like, bro, what happens if the internet goes out? Because like so much of our lives revolve around the internet. Without your internet, your phone's useless.
Real shit.
Without service, so it's like that would be some wild shit.
I don't. Let me check Twitter.
Now, and if Google goes out, how many people Google stuff every single day? It's probably a
It's the
day
world's
you
largest
haven't
search
gone
engine.
without Googling. I haven't gone without
It's the
Googling.
world's largest search engine. And no, it's the largest and second largest search engine.
Oh shit.
Damn.
Go High Level at the Twitter account. I didn't know that.
Go high level.
The very first thing it says, Google is having a global outage. We've updated our status page.
Boy. The fact that Go High Level just popped up on Twitter just proved that these phones be fucking listening to us. How did you just happen to find Go High
Of
Level's
course.
Twitter?
Of course it is.
Well,
Of
I
course
searched
they're
up
listening.
Google global outage.
And Go High Level popped up?
Yeah, I typed in latest.
How?
I don't think this is
Oh,
true.
this shit's out there. Oh, it's
Oh,
clickbait.
wait.
I'm not going Google right now. Fuck you talking about?
Right,
Let's
that's
see.
what I'm saying. Google's huge global outage, almost all apps and services down at once, including. This is October 4th.
October 4th.
Yeah, that was that tweet, but I don't see anything. Hold on, let me Google global outage.
I didn't even know Google had trending searches. Is this some new shit?
Mm-hmm.
HV1 COVID variant symptoms. Why is that the top fucking trend on Google? See, they try and fuck with people.
My top trend is APEC protest San Francisco.
For real?
Yeah.
Carnival Cruise Line missing passenger. Oh, you know what it is? Well, no. Why would COVID pop up?
I don't think that Google's having a global outage. And the reason I say
It's
that
talking
is
about
because
fantasy football. Alexander Madison. You say you're the one?
I think it might just be for Go High Level. I don't think it's like a global outage because it can't. Because they have
See, that's that shit again.
you
Talk
have,
to us.
you have what's called availability zones, right?
Okay.
And they're geographically separated for that specific reason.
So they can't crash.
Right, because it creates what's called redundancy. Like, all right, cool. If this phone ever goes down, right? I drop it, screen cracks, whatever happens, I got a whole other phone right over here. That's on a whole T-Mobile. This is Verizon. Two separate things going on. So that's how Microsoft, Azure, and Google has set their stuff up. Where it's like, okay, cool. We got a data center here in Virginia, right? Manassas. We got another one over here in Richmond. We got another one here in New York. We got another one here in Wisconsin. We got another one here in California. We got another in Texas. We got another in fucking Europe, Asia, multiple in Africa, right? Because if any one thing goes down on the East Coast, it just switches over to the Midwest. And the Midwest and the East Coast go down, it switches over to the West Coast. If all of those across the United States go over, then it goes up to Canada or Mexico, wherever the next availability zone is. Those are what's all those wires that are
But I hope
underneath.
Windows create like what's the word like pressure or overcrowded on one data center.
You have scalability and what's called scalability and elasticity,
Mm-hmm.
right? Scalability means I can go ahead and create more virtual servers,
Virtual servers. Okay.
right? And a virtual server is like it's just a computer that you can when you type in something, it goes to that computer and it's like, okay, I'm the thing that has all the information that you need, right? So when you watch these spy movies and they go into the IT room and it's like these computers all lined up, it's got
Yeah.
green and yellow things flashing all the time and wires hanging everywhere.
Mhm.
Those are servers. A server is just a computer that's specifically for one thing only, right? All my data is going to be in here. I want you to only do this kind of stuff. So the thing is that you can create virtual servers, which is what ChatGPT does, right? Because now it's like I don't want to confuse y'all. servers, the actual servers. But those servers have so much power to them that they can create something small for one specific thing, or they can create several small things that add up to one big ass thing.
Okay.
That's one data center. So now, if anything ever happens and you got to fail over to another spot, well, that one can still handle the load of 2 or 3 spots. But and that's how they design it. It's like, all right, I'm gonna create something so nice that it's going to be able to handle 2 or 3 of them if that ever happens. But it will rarely ever happen because the chances of something happening on the entire East Coast, it's not that big. But then to happen on the entire East Coast and Midwest, oh no. So that's where you're saying the clickbait joke.
Like that's
Yeah, with the solar storms.
I'm like, all right, if that means if
The world gonna be
the
okay.
world is fucked, like we all
hard to
fucked.
say. I mean,
Because that's
not,
how I was like, that shit gonna do something to my skin.
not
A
even a solar storm, but what about like a I mean, shit, everybody know like the conflicts going on around the world, a nuclear
war.
weapon attack or.
Well, you still got availabilities on some different geographical regions.
Well, let me ask you this. So, okay, that's like realistic threats, right? I was talking to somebody the other day about like cybersecurity and how it's like really popping. What about like hackers that hack the data centers? Is that possible? Because we seeing, people getting hacked and paying ransoms every day.
Most times hacking happens because, oh man, what's her name? What's the director of? What's her name? Oh, Susan? Nah, Susan. Susan what? Susie Orsman or no, not Susie. Susie, this one. Oh yeah. All right, cool. My fault. What was her email? 'Cause I'm trying to send a quick message. Oh yeah, it's right here. No problem. It's people cause that shit.
Yeah.
And it's like you have these people who can like you can do what's called shoulder surfing. It's like, oh okay, yeah, you ever just leave your laptop open?
My old supervisor used to tell me never leave your laptop open, walk away.
That's why.
But he was just, but that makes sense though. But he was just a fucking scary ass nigga. He was a bitch.
No,
But go
that's
ahead,
a
my
very
bad.
real thing.
I mean, but
Because somebody
was
could-
that when you was working for DC?
That was DC Gummy.
Yeah, exactly.
Because somebody can easily just walk up on that joint. And it's like, again, you ever
You
seen
right.
them Tom Cruise movies where someone's closing the door and the door is closed and they get right through the joint real quick?
That's true. People do that.
Right? The same thing for your laptop. Laptop is, oh, okay, I know that the laptop times out after 30 seconds. He just walked away. 21, 22, 23. And you keep the joint on because now you got full blown access because you have something called single sign on, which means that as long as you are signed into your computer, you have access to everything that you have access to. You don't have to sign in to over here. You ain't got to sign into this and sign into all
Different programs.
Right.
Dang.
You got one sign on signs you into everything.
That's real shit. Because I'm DC government, and when I sign on and I have access to my emails and all the other different shit that's in
Right.
that the fire department have access to.
Right. So you have phishing and whaling. Phishing is basically like, oh, DeMille got an email account. All right, cool. Hey, DeMille, click here. You won $500 for whatever type shit. Some bullshit email.
Do me a favor
Or-
though. Don't move your head like that again.
Huh?
Don't move your head like that again. The way you just doing that.
You're,
Look kind of.
Nah,
I'm fucking
real
with you.
quick. You ever seen Bruce? Shit wrong with my head. Y'all don't know about that. That's ahead of y'all time, man. Ain't shit wrong with my head. What's wrong with your head? But so yeah, phishing is like, all right, I'm gonna send you an email that looks like it's a legit email, but it's not a legit email. You click that motherfucker, and all of a sudden you got 500 viruses and shit. That's phishing. Whaling is doing the same thing, but to the CEO. Now you're going for the big fish, right? That's how hacks happen because someone used a dumbass password. Password 123 is the most commonly used password nationwide.
Definitely got a few passwords with those numbers in there.
See, this nigga going
But
right, but you have that. You have shoulder surfing. You have people getting like access into a building that they're not supposed to. Bro, you know how easy it is to get access to places that you're not supposed to be in.
easy.
Walk in with a branded shirt that just says Mantech, right? Mantech and a clipboard. You go wherever the fuck you want to go. right? Because when I was doing junk removal, bro, I was getting it everywhere. Cause I had, yeah, I'm just here doing the, the duct cleaning. They were like, go that way. I don't know. And bro, I'm walking in and out of malls, in and out of like office spaces and shit that I'm not supposed to be getting access to. Cause I'm just like, so you got shit like that, and then you have like it's just a whole bunch of shit. That's why your dude was so scary because he like that's why I didn't want to get into cybersecurity because once you know, it's very difficult because right now somebody could hack your iPhone as it is right
I
now.
mean, but that's not only that though. But you got like countries that sponsor hackers and different things like that.
Training,
Like,
yeah.
like you, like that is the CIA got hackers.
Yeah.
They trying to hack into China, Russia, and all this other shit, all these other countries.
You piss your pants if you knew the amount of threats, and threat is people actively trying to get into your shit.
Like on a regular. That's why I said they was telling me like, nah, that shit real right now. Like people are really every day trying to hack shit.
Hundreds of thousands of people.
Y'all want to know some crazy shit? I got this story.
Now, we being recorded, so no, if it ain't
Oh no,
top secret, no.
Matter of fact, no. I ain't never told this story, and I wanted to do like I wanted to tell like this story because it's real. Like, so I almost got finessed for 25 bands, like on some real shit when I was buying my first house.
Oh yeah, no,
I told you the story. So basically, I was closing on my crib, right? My cash to close was like some short shit. I really bought like $14. My cash close was $14, but when I was talking to my my lender, he was telling me all in all, my cash to close on paper was like close to 5 bands, a little over 5 bands, like 515 or something, and I had an earnest money deposit, right? So tell me why. I'm already under contract. Like the week of me closing, I get an email from my lender's assistant, and she sends me an email basically saying, here's your clear to close. And she sends me a whole breakdown of everything. I forgot what it's called, but when you buy a house, they give you that whole long ass sheet. Closing disclosure.
Yeah.
They sent me a closing disclosure with all my information, but my money cash due was 25 racks, right? And they had an attachment to my title company with the wiring information, all my information, bro, like all my fucking information, bro, social, everything, address, name, letterhead, all that, and told me to wire the money so I can close on this house. Closing on the house was like a roller coaster. Yeah, we all got houses. That shit was wild, right? So I'm so geeked to close. But I'm like, I'm since I do financial literacy, I'm so vested in the process. Like, man, this math don't make sense. What's she talking about? So I call my lender. He texts me, hey, I'm in a meeting. I'm gonna hit you back. So I'm like, all right. I know my money was $5K. It ain't no $25K. But I'm emailing her like, you sure? She's like, yeah. She's emailing me, right? So I call Wells Fargo to start the transfer. Because I'm just geeking. I'm like, man, I need to close on this house.
Nigga, the fact you just can transfer 25 bands.
I had saved up that much money before I bought my house. Like, my people let me stay in the crib, and like I had like a sizable salary jump, and I just stopped going out. I got locked in, and I really just started stacking my bread. Like, put that shit on auto save, right? But the whole purpose of me using programs and shit was to not spend any money. Like, I only spent basically 5 bands to buy a $400,000+ house.
Use HPAP?
EAP.
Oh,
EAP and DC Open Doors.
Okay. I use EAP as well.
But yeah, they gave me like $32,500. But basically, I saved that money and I had it in the reserve. That's why I didn't do HPAP, because they would have took that. But long story short, I'm on the phone with Wells Fargo about to transfer probably like 5 racks, right? Because I'm like, I know it's not 25, but I can't talk to him right now. And if I got to transfer more, I transfer more later. And when I'm on the phone, I'm geeking to just pay this money. And the phone just disconnect. And I'm like, bro, why does the devil keep fucking with me, right? So
That was Jesus.
Exactly. It was Jesus, bro. But in that moment, those were my exact words, bro. You know, you're on hold 15. I'm geeking. Well, no, you can't. You have to come into the bank. Well, we can do one over the phone. Like, bro, they geek. You got to pay 25. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to get this shit done. Shit just hang up. He texted me, yo, I'm on my meeting. I'm like, bro, what is this 25,000? Somebody like, bro, what you talking about? Send me the email. I forwarded an email. Call me right now, bro. That was a scam. Somebody put a 01 at the end of her email, like a 1 at the end of her email. And when I went back and looked at the email, Gmail did say something like, this could be a phishing attempt, bro. You don't recognize this joint. But when I read her first shit, I'm like, oh, that's my. But what didn't sit right with me was, if I wasn't like on point with the process,
Oh, you would have got.
the average person would have sent that 25 racks, bro. And what's crazy, you can't get that shit back. I think the lenders make you sign something in the beginning, if some shit go left with money, that's on you. And
My ex worked in the banking industry.
uh-huh.
She's like, old people will come in that joint all the time. I don't know what happened to my account. I had 40, 50, $80,000, and now it's all gone. And she would just be like, oh my God.
Somebody scammed them.
Because people will call and be like, help, grandma, help, help. They got me. Send $30,000. Right?
Damn, that's crazy.
Because they're like, oh, such and such needs help. Huh. Not my baby. And then it's like, that's how they get got.
Bro, they did that to my little brother. My little brother, my middle brother, his godparents live across the street from us. So like basically they older, they like in the 80s, right?
Right.
And they called one time and saying, such and such, my little brother's in trouble. We need y'all to send money right now. Boom, 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 boom. But it's funny, they didn't say my middle brother, who's like their godchild. They said my youngest brother. So somebody must have got some information mixed up. But she runs to the house, banging on the door, get my mom, and like tell her what happened. And like, where you at? And I'm at school. Somebody, but like, how the hell did they know to call them to know that they was
Well, you can
probably?
pay for it. Findpeople.com.
But it was like it was too weird of a. It felt too close. It was too weird of
Like
a.
somebody
knew
knew
to
had the
call
inside.
them and ask them.
Not really.
But how would they know that that he was tied to him? Well, no, they deposit money in his account like on birthdays and stuff probably. So that, I don't know.
Not even that. Again, it's simpler. Findpeople.com. I can go look up Damiel Morris, and it'll show me your aunts, your uncles, your mom, your dad, their age, what city they live in, their phone
That's
number, their
wicked.
email. It'll give me all the information. It's like, okay, such and such is
Oh yeah, the black market. Yeah,
Right.
on the internet.
No, bro, no, this is legit. Like, you can go on Google right now and go to findpeople.com.
Yeah, public information.
Because it's like
That's
reverse
free.
phone number search or some shit like that. It's
Yeah.
the
Like
exact same.
real life like doing a skip tracer.
Yeah, skip trace. Yeah.
That's all it is.
But that's wicked though, because it's like, I mean, even with that, 80 racks gone, you can't get that shit back. Like, if I was geeking and if that phone wouldn't have hung up,
But I thought your money in the bank though was FDIC insured. So
No, that's if the bank goes under.
if I wire some money and I put a wrong zero, they ain't sending that shit back. That shit gone. I'm assuming.
The most famous one most people know about, right, is the Nigerian Prince scam.
Break that down. I'm not hip.
What? Right.
I've heard about it. I forgot about it though.
My cousin has royalty in Africa, and he's getting inheritance. I need you to send $15,000 right now, and then we can get access to it. Okay, all right, bet. Right.
Got
That's one of
inheritance
the
already.
oldest ones out there. But again, this is all like tied to like cybersecurity. This is why cybersecurity is booming, because the more we start switching shit from analog, right, paper, pencil, word of mouth kind of shit, to digital,
It's wicked.
the more people are going to get crafty, and now you got AI in the mix. AI can learn that person, their traits, their habits, who they are as a person, and create a specifically.
We talked about this on one of the podcasts.
You can use a voice. They can create a whole voice, and you
They
can
can
have
recreate
AI.
your voice.
They can have AI learn and then throw your voice on it.
Deepfake.
That's
They can create
crazy.
your face. I can. There's AI right now. I can go create. I can take a picture of Damiel off a podcast, right? Because they got the shit where it's like they got Abraham Lincoln, and now they can animate Abraham Lincoln's face.
And it'd be
Right?
him
And
talking.
he's like, he's moving, he's talking and shit, but they did it off a picture. What do you think I can do off a video? I can get your face, your video, your voice, all the, and then go to people, find people,
Mannerisms.
your mannerism, and I can go to findpeople.com. All right, boom, I know your family.
Hey, bro, that is the dangerous thing about getting into content. Like, you putting your old shit out there.
And now you see why cybersecurity.
That's why I don't be on yeah. I don't be posting
But I feel like as an
screenshots.
entrepreneur, though, if you're not on content, you kind of
If you selling something
gonna
and
get
you
left behind.
if you selling something and you're not doing content, you can go and get
But
left
if you're an
behind.
entrepreneur, aren't you selling? You're selling something.
But it depends on who your target market is. My clients aren't on the internet anymore. Well, not on Instagram and social media.
Well, it doesn't.
Well,
It's not gonna matter.
technically, no, that's cap.
I was say
My direct clients aren't, but the clients that I want probably are on the internet. That's why we gotta do our little thing.
I was going to counter with that. Like,
Yeah,
so
you're right,
if
you're
that's
right.
the case, then why would you do like a bigger podcast if you're not searching or trying to attract clientele?
You know what's crazy? That's true because, I mean, I didn't realize that. So that bigger pockets joint, that was a blessing. That was God. I listened to this book during the pandemic, Set for Life by Scott Trench. It basically
I just reread that book.
It basically tells you how to stack your first 25 bands. That's why I stacked 25 bands. I didn't even realize it. That book showed you how to, step one, buy 25 bands, stack 25 bands. Step two, buy a house and house hack. Step three, rinse and repeat. And I listened to that book during the pandemic and I just applied it. And one night I'm on Instagram and an ad comes up, 5 books every property manager should read. And first one, Set for Life by Scott Trench. The next one, boom, boom, boom. All I do is leave a comment. Just leave a comment trying to just bless the next person who ever read it. I say, this book changed my life. I scaled from 0 to 20 properties, bought a house, boom, 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 boom. Now I manage X amount of properties. I wake up the next morning and Scott Trench DM me. Hey, Ron. Hey, Wavy, I saw your comment. I would love to hear your story and interview you on a Bigger Pockets Money podcast, right? And at this point, I listen to Bigger Pockets. I'm not like a fan. I listen to podcasts. Like, I don't know what his face looks like. And I realized he's the CEO of Bigger Pockets. And he was the author of the book. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like, I was so lit during that time, like, in my mind, like, whoa. And I'm thinking, so I had a course and all this stuff. And I'm thinking, like, this shit could take off if this shit popped the right way. But what I realized, that's a great counter, though, because that content, I listened to that podcast this week while I was at work to help me remember my why and what I'm doing and what I'm doing it for. And I'm glad I listened to it because it allowed me to tap back into my purpose, right? But that video gets played and people see it. And I literally had this lady hit me up on Instagram. And I'm managing 3 properties of hers in Fresno, California, her boyfriend, and they got 3 properties. But she said, I listened to your episode. I followed you on Instagram. I listened to it 4 times. It's my favorite episode, and I want to work with you. And that's when I said, I've never been to fucking Fresno, California. I don't know what that shit look like. But I said, that's crazy. And I locked in deals with them off a phone conversation. So it just shows me, like, and that's what I said on the podcast, like, I think in the power of the internet, one comment, and that did something to me, like, mentally, because I'm like, dang, this one just turned me up. I'm on this podcast and it's getting played. Like, people message me on LinkedIn, but it just made me think, like, it didn't blow up like I thought it would. Right. But I said, you know what? At some point, the right person is going to hear it. And that's why I need to make that video, that content with you, because that's the only way people are going to know who you are.
Bro, we making content right now.
Facts. We 30 minutes in.
It's 30 minutes in. This is organic.
And it's organic. It's organic. This is actually like some freestyle shit. Like, you know when a rapper freestyling, he know the camera on, but this is like real live, organic talk right now.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what niggas need to talk about for real. We can talk about sports and women and partying and clubbing and all that shit too, but like, we just covered an array of. We just had a nice palette.
Covered financial literacy, business,
real estate, scamming.
But to say scam, like, This is a fucking course.
Damn. Nah, for
This is
real.
a fucking course.
Rental cars, travel nurses. We can
We
sell
talk-
this
this-
shit.
this shit-
This is 30 minutes worth of game.
The shit we just got with
$30.
MJ just taught motherfuckers how to market. We got that shit on camera.
Damn. I was trying to top it with MJ. That's my dog. Crazy shit. True story. Everything's purposeful. I met all y'all at the gathering spot.
I met all
MJ.
through MJ.
MJ was the first person I met at the gathering spot the first day I went there.
I met MJ the first day I went to gather spot.
That's crazy. She has a gift. She has a gift with people.
She's outgoing. It's like the dude in the elevator. She's just like, how long you been here? And she just started talking to this random ass
She's
dude.
like, that's her personality.
Yeah.
She's the first person.
They said that's air signs and like air and I don't know the other one. Fire signs. Because I'm the same way. Like I'm just gonna go up to you. Like I don't have the fear of talking to somebody.
And that's something I had to grow up because I'm extremely introverted. Extremely
What's your
introverted.
sign?
Virgo.
I don't. Is that like?
I don't know. I don't follow all that shit. But I just know, like, I had to, like, I had to become an extrovert. Like, I had to grow into becoming more of an extrovert. Because if it was leave it to me, like, I didn't go to prom. I didn't talk to girls when I was a kid. Like, I was extremely shy and introverted because I got teased as a kid. So it just made me go in my shell. So,
Yeah.
You're an earth sign.
I don't know. What that mean?
Earth signs are very to themselves. They're down to earth, right?
Yeah.
But they're not outgoing kind of thing. They're like you said, the introverts. They're the ones who are like, nah, I'm cool, chilling kind of thing.
Right.
Big chilling. Your water signs, they like to flow, but they don't. It's not too much change that they like to do and shit. It's
Right.
like they want to stay static and just be chill. So earth and water signs mesh well together, right? Fire and earth signs, we're more like just all over the place and shit. Because like wind, when you think about it, wind is just like free flowing. It's adaptable. It's here. It's over there type shit. And then fire is more of the emotion side of things. But it's like they bring that spark.
Right.
So air feeds fire, right? Air does not feed water. Air does not feed earth. That's why a lot of people don't fuck with air signs because they're just like, yo, you're doing too much, you're moving too much, right?
But MJ, if she's the heir, she can fuck with everybody because
That's why, like, again,
yeah.
hold on.
Well,
Pure
wait,
test, pure test.
what was
This is gonna be a pure
Oh,
test.
so what I was saying about MJ, like, met her at the gathering spot, and somehow we talked about where we were from, where we live. We live in the same neighborhood, and I was right at the process of getting my Airbnb started. I had just got my house, and she told me how much money her basement was making in her neighborhood. And she actually showed me her listing, showed me her back-end data, because it was like the last confirmation I needed to know, okay, it's going to be ROI in this. And she was so, like, open and willing to give me information. And I was a direct competitor to her business. And she a real nigga for that. I fuck with her.
I would say MJ definitely. Like, if she can, she definitely reach back out to help. And I definitely fuck with her for that. Like,
Oh, yep. She's a Libra. That's why me and her mesh well.
Yeah, like-
I'm only my closest friends, Libras, Aquarius. Yeah, Libras and Aquarius.
you don't fuck with Virgos like that?
I do. It's just like again, it's like you guys are more slow paced as opposed to like an air and a fire sign. It's not anything wrong with it. It's just that I tend to move about a lot.
I will say that, yes, you are tend to move. Because you just do shit, and I'm like,
I want to win.
yeah, I'm like, God damn, good.
Yeah.
We was just talking about this shit. You already enacted that shit? Like,
Yeah.
that's, wow.
But now you see firsthand, like
Yeah.
again, it was no bullshit because Libras and Geminis get away well together. Geminis and Aquarius get well.
Gemini's, two sides, two vibes. Let's get it.
Are you a Gemini?
Yes, sir.
See, that's
I was waiting for him to get to it.
I fuck with Geminis because like, and it's like we're just. Correct me if I'm wrong, bro. People hate Geminis with a passion, but we're just like largely misunderstood because like we do stuff with so much passion, but like we're
I
so.
was gonna say it's because y'all come off arrogant or.
Yeah, but it's like we
I don't get arrogant from Ron.
I think we just not understood.
Yeah, I don't get arrogant
Because
from Ron.
it's people say we got. Well, I say I got two sides and two vibes because it's like you either get like, oh, this nigga Ron's a great person, or it's just like I just don't fuck with you. Or I'm just
Yeah.
not going to go out of my way to give you energy.
Mm-hmm.
That's spark you up.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, back to the
You
schedule
recording?
program.
I gotta spark up the warmth,
Oh, okay, got you.
The heater.
the heater.
Yeah.
Speaking of the heater, what is up with all these young kings crashing out?
You're not kings. That's
Nope.
the problem.
No. I ain't gonna.
I had to.
I'm
That's
not
a
gonna do that.
that's a politically
I ain't gonna
correct
say that.
word
I'm
to
not gonna say that.
because they don't know no better.
I believe there's no guidance. There's no guidance and there's no structure.
But see, that's right. But there's so many levels to that shit because they need guidance
I mean,
and
if we're
structure
gonna
at
be
home,
all the real,
at school, in the community,
I'm gonna say something. If we're gonna be all the
and
real,
like some private sector.
there's
shit.
there's not fathers in the house. That's what I think. And or the role models they do have ain't doing shit.
You know what I think? I think parents too young right now. I just that's a reach. I don't
I
know.
think
That's
so
the first
too.
time I ever
Parents
thought
are
of that.
friends. They want to be friends.
Black fathers are the most present in the household statistically.
Statistically,
One of my homies told me we dealing with the crack babies' babies,
We are.
I can believe that.
and
But
that's
it's like you gotta also remember it's like it's systemic, because like they're like talking about like Baltimore. Tell me one thing to do that's fun in Baltimore.
stadium or
I wanna say
Raven
the
Stadium.
inner harbor,
the
but even the inner harbor is getting like fucked up. Like you got the what's the that big ass seafood place that was there that just went out of business.
cameras.
Yeah, it went out of
Phillips.
business. I think it went out of business.
I like G&M. I drive to Baltimore to
Man,
G&M.
I think that joint went out of. It used to be like
what's the other joint?
ESPN Zone out of business.
It was the ESPN zone in
Yes,
Baltimore.
in the harbor. Yes,
It was one down Metro Center in DC. That joint was vicious.
It
But I think
was.
that shit closed. I think their whole company went
yeah,
bankrupt.
it did.
My point is this: there's nothing to do. DC is not a place for young jits.
Young Jits.
There's
Nah,
nothing to do.
nah.
there.
They're like crashing out.
Bro, I think.
They don't have no programs and camps and like they don't have.
I mean, if we're gonna be all the way real, it's the music.
It's
Subliminals.
The music,
It's the music.
the music stems from the lifestyle.
Let me ask y'all a question. When y'all was in high school, did y'all ever fear of getting shot by going out
No, not me. I went to school first like Fort Washington,
for Washington?
so I didn't grow up in the hood, like in the fucking where I live at.
Well, I mean, like, so, like, I grew up in D.C., and I used to always be in the Go-Go's, and I used to always catch the
Oh no,
train.
no! If you
going
was
to
in the Go-Go's, then nah. I don't care where you were. If you was in the Go-Go's,
That's
yeah.
the thing, though.
But you know what's crazy? We weren't that wasn't really happening. Like, I mean, I'm imagining now, like, niggas got switches. Somebody hit a switch and a Go-Go let out. Like,
Dog.
we weren't worried about
It's a massacre.
we weren't worried about switches, bro, or like niggas having rifles and shit. Like, you heard, you see what I'm saying? And I was outside from like 15, 14, from like 15, 8th grade, 9th grade on. But I don't know, it wasn't as dangerous.
It wasn't easily as accessible. You couldn't go get a gun for $300, $400.
Shit, niggas had guns. Niggas
Let
definitely
me tell
had
you,
guns.
it had guns,
No,
but we just wasn't crashing out.
this
like
no,
that.
this what I don't know. I don't know how these young niggas getting these expensive ass fucking guns.
They stealing them, and they're
Stealing
selling
them.
them.
Where you stealing a
Nah, they
where you
youngins, they
stealing
stealing
an
them.
AR-15 from?
Oh no, you just get them from a gun zone at Dunn, Virginia.
You know what's crazy? Damn, that's true. One of my homies said like, not even one of my homies told me, let's say you selling like a hard drug like heroin or like coke or something like that, right? He said the motherfuckers that live up in West Virginia and up north, the drugs better down here. So they'll drive down here and they're like, you know, they can go buy guns legally in Virginia and all that stuff, and they'll just trade them for the drugs. But like, I think it's more simpler than that. I think like niggas really be dropping guns off in the hood, like the government and shit. Cause I mean, think about it. Then this might be reaching and getting deep, but like drugs. In order to get like a lot of drugs over here, you need a plane, you need a boat. Niggas in Southeast don't have no planes and no boats.
Did you see that video?
Or
You
just in
haven't
the
seen
hood.
that video though.
Which one?
It was about the same exact thing. They're just like, bro, no one had the level of transportation to mass bring over the amount of guns, drugs.
Even guns, yeah.
Bro, you have fucking Wall Street companies bringing J.P. Morgan and Chase.
J.P. Morgan and Chase.
What happened?
How did that get
Yeah.
swept under the rug?
How did that joke just disappeared?
That's insane.
They had kilos. No, they had fucking a whole ship of drugs.
They shouldn't be a bank.
Well,
But see, and that, no, talking about that validates my point that all of this shit is corrupt. It ain't the BAM up in West Virginia supplying the whole city. It's, damn, you right. Like, niggas saw that headline, was like, okay, cool.
Cool. I ain't heard about it since.
Let me check my Chase still taking $15 fees out my account.
they paid a fine.
Man, paid a fucking fine,
I
dog.
think it was like $100-something million.
Chase was in another headline. I think it was in another scandal that got swept under the rug. Was it Epstein or
Let me.
Epstein? Yeah, Epstein.
But again, they just paid a fine. But
I mean, money went on wars.
right, and it's like
You paid the right people.
because the thing
Yeah.
is that
100
no
million.
one person could be held responsible. So it's like the company is a separate entity in itself. It's like, well, the entity got in trouble.
No. If that was
Somebody going to jail.
No. If that was a black company, CEO would have been
Somebody going to
testifying on
jail.
Congressional Hill, and DOJ would have been investigating
I'm
it.
not disagreeing. But again, when you control that much money and assets,
Of course, they control a big portion of the economy. They're not gonna let that shit just.
so now we know.
Hey.
Cause yeah, it's this shit, and that's why I be saying life is so complex. Even the most simplest things is so fucking deep.
Like
low-key.
on EYL, what's Ian Dunlap? He says there's 7 companies that's propping up the whole U.S. economy right now: Microsoft, Apple, Google, Tesla. I
Probably
forgot
a
the other
couple
3 more.
more,
Yeah, but like that's
The
it.
Big tech.
That's
basically,
it.
Holding everything.
Holding everything.
And that's why I be telling people. I mean, I fuck with stocks on the long term, but I'm like, motherfuckers, the middle class ain't really making no money off stocks unless you like flipping options or you got the cash flow.
Yeah, middle class is done.
The niggas is already making money in the market. They playing with all the money.
Exactly. You
Like-
getting scraps.
I mean, yeah, but it's good to invest, but they eat when they want.
Yeah. So I think my goal is the way I'm looking at it is like I'm rebuilding my financial platform. So I'm rebuilding my emergency fund. I'm going to save to get like 10 racks. But then I'm going to move once I get 10 racks, I'm going to move into putting my money in stocks to grow, but take that shit out to buy real estate. So that's gonna be my whole plan right now, like to put money, let it grow in stocks, and take it out to fund my real estate dreams. And cause like you said, bro, the middle class. If you ain't making sacrifices now, bro, you done.
That's what I'm thinking too, and it's like it's weird. It's like every day it's a hustle every single day, and I'm like, damn, you want to like breathe, sit back, relax, and it's like, nah, these the years to put in that work now. You can't get tired now.
This is like Nipsey Hussle said. This is the next gold mine. This is the gold mine like time right now. Like wealth will be made in this period.
Yeah,
And destroyed in this period. So, like, and the reason I'm going so hard in content right now because the fastest growing business in the world is content creation. It's the fastest growing business.
and let me ask you a question. I learned a fun fact yesterday listening to a podcast. Do you know? No, that's cap. I saw this on the Instagram reel. Do you know what the #1 podcast genre is?
What is it, documentary?
It's true crime.
True crime. Okay.
So I saw this on social Dave Sam social crew podcast. I be listening to his joint sometimes, and it was either something else on YouTube or a clip, but the guy was saying that's the number one podcast industry, most profitable, and it's little to no blacks in the space. We all in business.
Wow.
But the number one podcast, and they say, and people black people could probably tell the most true crime stories ever. You go
From their trauma.
you go interview the right people.
Wow.
People like listening to people trauma because it reassures them, okay, my shit not that bad.
That's fucked up, ain't it?
We
It's
human.
when they say
This
misery love company.
yeah. But I mean, think about it. If that's the number one, that means a lot of motherfucking people out here hurting,
Man, miserable.
or miserable, or just interested in that shit. I used to watch Criminal Minds and all that shit, but at the same
I
time,
used to, but I just can't watch that shit. Like, I can't watch the first 48.
oh,
like-
that shit too real for me.
Yeah, I can't. I
In
don't even
terms-
like Law and Order every now and again. Now it's like I don't like that shit getting into my.
Like if I'm in a
My spirit.
hotel, I'll watch Law and Order.
Yeah.
If the shit come on the TV, but yeah.
I mean, but here's the thing with Law and Order: if you watch one episode, it's it's gonna be a
Right
grind,
back in,
and you
yeah.
going-
But that's why I say hotel. If it's on the late night, you work for business or something. You like,
Yeah.
all right, ain't shit on this little dumbass cable. Law and Order, that should be. You gonna get some type
No,
of.
if you watch the first 5 minutes, I gotta know what happened. I
you
gotta
locked
know
in.
what happened now.
It's crazy. I just seen a video with her, the girl, the police officer.
Mhm.
She was looking good
Which one from
from SVU.
That's
I don't know. I don't
was
remember
it
her name.
Benson?
Yeah, but she was looking good, and I'm like, oh, this guy throwing me off.
Yeah, she was cool back in the day. But damn, true crime
True crime,
and all the blacks in business.
and all
Damn, that made me
we
kind of
all.
want to make me want to pivot, but I don't want to do true crime because I just don't want to hear
I forgot what they said the second one was.
entertainment,
It might have been
celebrity.
comedy,
Okay,
but it might not have been comedy.
I'm
though.
surprised because America has a celebrity worship problem. I'm surprised that's not in like TMZ, some shit like TMZ. Not
Just getting every single day, you getting all the tea,
Yeah.
everything that's going on in real time. All right, this what happened yesterday. Blueface, yeah. I don't pay attention to none of that shit.
I can't do it, bro. It's
Bitches
like
and shit.
they're human. Like they have their own lives. Like I'm my own life. Like
And I'm trying to figure my shit out.
Yeah,
I ain't worried about
exactly.
they downfall.
like that shit is what's the word I'm looking for? It's a distraction.
Yeah.
To distract you from doing the shit that you need to do. You know, like I rarely watch TV anymore. Like my shit is YouTube, and I'm more like I'm watching productivity. I'm watching entrepreneurship things. I watch some entertainment and like manosphere shit every now and again as well. But right now, like my focus is strictly manosphere. And, I mean, productivity, entrepreneurship. Because like we said, dog, this is the way to create wealth.
Nah, that's what it's all about for real. Mental health, wealth, physical health.
Exactly.
Because you gotta. I realize like this money shit. You need. It's not everything, but you need it in this life, depending on what quality of life you want to live.
Exactly.
I'm trying to live a luxurious. I'm gonna live
Man,
a
I ain't
luxurious life.
telling, dog. I ain't trying. Hey, look. One of my favorite Jay-Z lyrics. Jay-Z's my favorite rapper. He said, "I ain't trying to live it to the limit. I'm trying to I'm trying to live it and love it a lot. Basically, it's like I ain't trying to get by. I'm trying to
Yeah,
enjoy my
enjoy
life.
this
I'm trying to. I want to travel the world. I want to live in different cities.
Yeah.
You know, like I was telling a chick I started dating a couple weeks. Like I want to be a nomad.
Me too, bro.
And just pick up and move whenever the fuck I want to.
Nah, me too, bro.
Like all I know is DC.
That's my goal right now. To be a digital nomad.
Yeah, so like all I know is DC. Like I was telling her, like I wouldn't mind doing a year or two in New York, doing a couple years in Atlanta, going out overseas somewhere.
Oh, see, I was thinking overseas out the jump.
See me, I kind of like certain places in the U.S. Like I would love to live just the lifestyle in New York City for a year or two.
I see what you're saying. I mean, it's definitely places that I would move and relocate in the United States. Like I fuck with Houston. I ain't been there in a few years though, but I fuck with Atlanta.
Like I said, I just felt good in Atlanta, dog. Like the black people,
vibes.
yeah. You just when you land in Atlanta, you just feel the black excellence, and then my face is like, dog, I just want to be down here.
And so far, all the places I've been, I've been a lot of places. I would move to those two places, but like in terms of like being like digital nomad, my main goal right now is location independence, time freedom, right? Buying back my time, like in the way that I'm realizing that is, it's about managing your overhead and it's about cash flow. So like the average person is, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's the average person is, cool with working a job, moving up their career ladder, and like, doing their job at a high level, right? And my mindset is, if we all go to work every day for money to pay our bills, that's the common denominator. And let's just say 50% of the people in the United States don't like what they do for work. I'm pretty sure it's higher, right?
Sure it's higher. Well, probably like closer to 80 or 90%.
I would agree. I would agree. 80 to 90%, right? But I was being modest with the 50, right? But let's just say in the perfect world, let's say 75% of people, 75% of people don't like their job. I realize if you don't like your job and you're waking up every day to go to work, you're just going to work for money, right? You're a slave. And what I realized was we live in a debt wealth society in the United States. Even if you want to go buy a laundromat right now, start a laundromat business, you got to take out debt. You got to take out a loan. We live in a debt wealth society. You got to get debt to create wealth, right? So I realized you only make money, 2 to 3 ways in this lifetime. You inherit it, you work for it, or you have something make money for you. And I think my first job right out of college, it was an internship. Worked there for 4 years, DC Water. The word job put a bad taste in my mouth because of a toxic work environment, and I thought that's what a job was. When I got a job at DDOT, and I realized, the culture's different, but now that I've been there going on 5 years in January, I said, damn, you know what? This shit ain't it either. And it's like,
so you don't want to get too comfortable.
Not even comfortable. I think convenient is the word. Because what I realized, what I've been doing in almost my decade of working full-time in the government, is I've just been using them to build my empire outside of work, because that first job showed me, nah, this ain't it. And then I got to the second job with more money, and you think, you hit a certain amount of money, you're like, this still ain't it.
Still not happy.
So what I want to do in terms of digital nomad, my goal is to help people travel the world and make passive income. That's all I want to do in this life, literally. As long as I'm helping people, telling people about God, traveling the world, and making passive income, and I'm learning and creating an ecosystem of Wi-Fi money where I can be location independent and I can get paid anywhere in the world as long as I have access to Wi-Fi.
Right.
So I have a couple friends who are digital nomads now. So I've been to Colombia, Brazil. So I've been to South America. I went to Dubai. I wouldn't live in Dubai. It's too expensive and hot. It's way too fucking hot. But like, this is why I would live in South America. In South America, your dollar is 5x. Let's say I landed in South America with $1,000 cash.
Should say Brazil.
Brazil. It was Brazil, right? And I had $5,000 as soon as I landed, right? So let's say you take $50,000 cash over there. You got $250,000, you got $250,000, right? So now you just bossed your life up. You just 5x your life just by taking a trip, right? And now when you go buy that half chicken and rice and beans in a salad, it's not $18. It might be $5.
want to say 7 or something.
7. Like so, like that's another thing. Everything out there was so cheap. The food, like the fruit, like alcohol,
And it's
beer.
real food.
It's
Like,
real
not
food. It's fresh.
what you get.
We were going to the grocery store to buy stuff. We had people cooking and stuff. And so it's like we had a maid, and it's like the quality of life seems so much better over there. So even if I live over there, and I'm thinking 30 to 60 days, right, and then go somewhere else, right? But it's like I'm experiencing a culture. My money, I'm making U.S. money. It's supplementing my overseas lifestyle. But we was talking about digital
It's
nomad,
just- it's
and you
just-
walk right
yeah.
in because
You just
let
did
him
it.
talk about
He
So,
just
so
did it.
talk about your experience in Puerto Rico. We talking about. We both just said we basically want to be digital nomads and move in different countries, economy of skills, and like make passive income in other countries.
Speaking of that, the reason I had to step out, I had to rent a brand car back.
Whose credit card is that?
It's a debit card, but we about to eat good tonight.
Oh,
Nah,
scamming.
Oh, you're holding their debit card?
nah, it was in the underneath the
Oh,
floor.
they left it. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
and but I called the dude, the guy who just dropped it off. Like, yo, you left your debit card. He's like, nah, I was in there before I got there. I'm like, weird. I had the card clean before I gave it to you.
Whose name is it?
Let's not, hold on, let's not put.
Yeah. I was
Rico.
not his last name. Just F. Yeah.
But and then the other thing, I seen a girl wearing a crop top hoodie.
Stomach was cold as shit, girl.
Nah, her stomach was out. It was a regular hoodie.
Oh. Oh no.
She was just that big. It was a crop top hoodie.
Oh, that's fucked up. But nah, come on, man, Puerto Rico, man. Let's not get.
So yeah, you live this shit. So I want to do that shit. And two things. One thing stopping me is my job. It's the only thing. So tell me about that
was the
shit.
reason I stayed in Puerto Rico. Does it pick my sound up well?
Not really. But you got the.
Talk again though.
Yeah.
It was jumping at first.
It's picking you up.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's picking me up, but that might be conflicting with it. But anyways, and then Adobe podcast or
Can I put it over there?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, they said fuck all the stuff in the box.
It's just a box.
Fuck the
Intermission.
box.
There we go.
How about now?
Yeah, you
So the reason I chose Puerto Rico was because I actually had travel restrictions, so I couldn't leave outside the United States.
We got some warrants out.
No, I had a government job.
I'm just messing with you.
Worse, I had a government job.
Wow. So really, you can't go anywhere because you have a government job.
Had. I don't have it anymore. But yeah. So with government, because I had a government laptop.
Yeah, that joint. You
cannot
can't
take
connect
that
with nothing
boy.
out of the country.
Cannot take that joint out. You a hot shit. If you take that out of the country.
You're a fugitive, then.
Right. I don't know. But
Fugitive.
Yeah, you
That's
ain't
serious.
nomad. You're a fugitive.
digital fugitive. Digital fugitive. So, but yeah, I was originally supposed to go with Ro, and we were supposed to go 3 weeks out there, and just to lock in, hiatus, get away from everything. And but he just he had his stuff going on, so he couldn't really step away from his lifestyle. I specifically crafted my lifestyle to be able to do that, which is why we partnered on the Airbnb and stuff. That's why I sent you that list today too, because I'm like, yo, I need to fully automate this jump.
Yeah, I went through it.
And then with my cars, I could call my brother up and stuff like that. So it was crazy actually, because when I was taking off, I was on the phone as I was taking off, found out some stuff was happening. I think I was I found out that my mom's car was probably on a drug run or something like that, because they took the car from here up to New York, down to Atlanta, and then back in a span of 2-3 weeks, if that.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so I found that out as I'm like, wait, what? And we're taking off, and the phone cuts.
Who? Oh, okay. Somebody called you. So the feds or
No.
Oh, you just had it.
I'm tracking the car.
car? You wondering why is it going all these places?
Yeah, and I'm like, yo, what's going on? And so I had to deal with that, and then on top of that, I had to deal with We had chargebacks, like thousands of dollars of chargebacks.
From y'all payment processors?
Yeah, the dude scammed us on the car rental joint.
One person did a bunch of them?
Yeah, and we didn't have our process set up. So, dude, on one account, dude did 50 transactions.
How? So he was renting cars?
Yeah, but he was trying all the cards to see which one would actually hit.
Oh, he was a scammer, okay.
Right? And I'm pissed. I'm trying to figure out what's everything's going on and stuff. So I had to deal with all that stuff as I'm like.
Why are
taking
you
off.
there? Why are you headed there?
Yeah, so it's a 4-hour flight.
So you about to pay for Wi-Fi. Hold on, upgrade. You'll pay for that Wi-Fi. Hell yeah.
I was like, time to go to work. Time to go to work. Just like sit there, strategize, read books, and just like, because again, I always knew that when you're on the flight and you have all this time to do nothing, and it's just you, lock in. So, but yeah, overall, the trip was great.
So we was talking about more like how to like your dollar moving, going foul further.
Or how to actually make it happen. Like I was telling my girl yesterday or a couple days ago, like I'm trying to move to another country and live there for a couple months.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing that in Brazil.
And you know what she said? She said, "Yeah, that sounds far fetched."
Oh,
and in my mind, I'm like,
it's not.
I'm dead ass serious.
Oh, shit.
So I let it. So like I brought it back up yesterday or something. I'm like, the other day when I said that, I was dead ass serious, and I mean that shit.
Let's talk about the implementation. One, the dollar doesn't go that far in Puerto Rico because it's still United States. So it's not like it's not that big.
That's dollar to dollar for real.
Yeah, like instead of.
But that should be your strategy in the beginning, right?
It was, but I couldn't go outside the United States.
Okay.
So, but in like Puerto Rico, it's like instead of things being like $2, it's $1, right? Instead of it being like $1.75, it's just a flat dollar kind of thing.
Okay.
But I also wasn't staying in San Juan. I was staying 3 hours from San Juan. I was in the country, bro.
You was bullshit.
Huh?
Was you out there bullshitting or no? You was in the sticks.
The first week. No, here's what happened. The first 2 days, I'm out there. I'm in the mountains, right? Living on I was running in the morning, like down a cliff to the beach every morning, right?
That's lit.
Like 6 in the morning because I naturally wake up that early. And then after that, my boy hit me. He's like, "Yo, where you at?" Because I was Instagramming everything, I was documenting everything. He's like, "Where you at?" I was like, "Puerto Rico." He's like, "I thought that looked familiar." I was like, "What does that mean?" He's like, "Bro, I'm here now for the next week." I'm like, "Oh shit, where you at?" He's like, "Downtown, San Juan." I said, "Bro, I drive over there. All right, that ain't nothing. 3-hour drive, I'll do that."
But you had the rental car too.
Nah, he didn't.
Oh, he said he drove. Oh, I thought you had the whip. Okay.
Yeah, so I drove. He was like, "Bro, I gotta, everything happened for a reason. I actually got an extra bed. You can crash in my junk." So I stayed there for the first week, downtown San Juan, and then after he had to leave, he was like, "Nah, I'm just stay like an extra 2 or 3 days." I said, "All right, we go back to my Airbnb," and so we stayed there for 2 days. But bro, I live next to a rooster farm.
Was gonna woke you up
Every morning, 5 in the morning. I'm like, bruh. And it's 50 of them. Once one start, all 50 of them start
so
going.
you just about to wake up.
Right. So that's the hiatus portion of it.
So damn.
But to go back to the implementation portion of it, how to get that done is write down every process that you do. Everything that you do, write it down.
That you do or need to do.
Both. Because
explain process that you do. What you mean?
Because I know, I sent you the list. I know I need maintenance. I know I need cleaning. I know I need all this stuff for my Airbnb.
Okay.
So I write down everything that I have to do for that process. Because what I have to do, or what I do, is going to lead what I need to do.
It's a checklist, and once you check everything off, it's done.
Yeah, because I know for my car business, all right, cool. I need maintenance. I need check in, check out, automated messages, and the only reason I got to that stuff was because I'm like, yo, I'm tired of sending messages nonstop. I'm tired of doing this thing. I'm tired. Write down everything that you're tired of doing, and then So I created this thing to get out of like the situation that I'm currently in, right? And it's like a blueprint that anybody can implement. So here's the financial plan. First step, understand my numbers, goals, completed. Second, what needs to be cut, trends I noticed, available resources help guide me, organize my current life, organize businesses, operating net, right? What can I automate, delegate? What should I simplify, and how and what do I scale?
And then you just break down in more detail on each one, on all areas of your life.
Right, so that's part one. The other part was like, let's see. I don't know where the Jones at, but basically, I just like listed everything that was just a headache for me, and then I like, after listing everything that was a headache, I'm like, all right, well, how would I solve that? And I'm not talking about just like a band-aid solution. I'm talking about like, all right, what's the actual fix to this thing that I can implement? And I think I got that from like a Bigger Pockets joint. Oh, here we go.
The fact that you write out your thoughts like that's fire.
This is optimized solutions, right? Current headaches, address headaches, systemize, right? Don't just, again, don't create a band-aid solution to it. How are you going to completely solve it and snuff the fire, right? And then I go through each one. I did it for this one as well. Like,
how often do you refer back to those notes to implement? Like, did you do that for Puerto Rico? Or was that your thought process for it?
I think it was my thought process going into it because, again, it's just like, if you get stuck and confused on what you need to do next, write down what's not going right.
You're right.
And address what's not going
You
right.
gotta take your thoughts out your mind, put them on paper. Write this shit down, do help.
Write it down,
more.
right? Because if it's a headache to you, then that means you can solve it. It's just when you got to figure out what steps you need to implement to solve that thing. So now, for me, but going to Puerto Rico, I was like, all right, well, here's my current headaches. I have to be the one to drop the car off. I have to be the one to clean it. I have to be the one to service it. I have to be the one. I have to be Mr. Everything for everything.
No systems in place.
So I'm like, okay. After reading the book, I think it was, I don't know if it was the second time I read it or just the first time, but I know I've read it twice. It's called Work the System by Sam Carpenter, right? Mm-hmm. And that book basically goes over how to build systems for your business, your life. And then he points it out to a way where it's like, once you see it, you can't unsee it. So now I see everything as a system.
All right.
So
Adding to my Audible list.
I'm about to say, once you start building systems, right? Because your system, you're going to need to collect payments, right? Are you going to always, all right, well, just cash at me or Zelle me or pay me cat?
No. All this shit is. I send an invoice through QuickBooks. Mm-hmm. You paid it, that motherfucker.
Right.
So I collect all my data.
Right. So now you start building a system where it's like, all right, cool. You can schedule your own photo shoot, Calendly or whatever, or however you want to set up scheduling, but either integrate it into that booking platform or system. Mm-hmm. Shit, we could build one and optimize.
So I kind of use that right now for the photo shoot. It's called Acuity scheduling.
Right. So Acuity says, all right, cool. Once you book it, you then pay it. And then next, that's part of your system. So you don't have to manually do that. Next is getting there. Well, again, we talked about your list. That's part of your system. Your list is like, all right, cool. Here's my checklist of everything I need to make sure that gets done every time that this happens. Because your checklist is what's called your working procedure, which is what I sent you today. Mm-hmm. Your working procedure is your checklist so that you get the same outcome every time. It's the same thing that happens in Starbucks. It's the same thing that happens at a car dealership, at McDonald's. The same thing happens over and over and over again because you want the same process. I want my funnel to look like this. Mm-hmm. So now I go ahead and build out my funnel with checklists that anybody can fucking do. That's so simple for them to do, right? That when they do it, it gets the same result every time.
Sound good?
So that way, when I'm not there, it's still going to happen regardless.
Makes sense.
So that's what I put in place when I went to Puerto Rico. And granted, yes, it was a struggle, right? Because I'm taking what I learned from 4 Hour Work Week and trying to put that into actual life.
It's a struggle, but you're learning you're exercising new muscles.
Oh, bro, the learning growth. What,
Damn, I like that. I ain't never heard that before.
repeat it again. For what he be saying? Hey, Mike, clip this up.
This nigga said you exercising new muscles. I just told somebody yesterday, it's like at this age, it's like you're going through growing pains.
Yeah.
And it's like this shit's real. And we live in the top 5 most expensive cities in the country.
Right.
And a lot of the growing pains that we feeling is financial. And it's like, for me having a credit repair business, I'm looking at people's profiles and I'm seeing that people are in so much debt. Like people are in thousands of dollars of debt. And I'm just saying that it's like, it's not like, it's like everybody. Like everybody. And it's making me realize, like, going back to that point, going to work.
Sound check on
And
Ron.
money thing. Oh yeah. Going back to I can hear myself. I think I can hear myself.
Clear.
Clear. Yeah. So
Yeah, just keep right.
oh, we can hear the music in the background. It's all good.
It's all good. We'll
So-
clean it up.
Intermission music.
Yeah.
Shit. What point was I on? I forgot. Oh yeah. So what I realized was like nobody has bad credit. Nobody should have high utilizations on their credit card. The problem that people have is cash flow problems. People
Cash
don't
flow
make-
problems, or is it non-budgeting problems, or is it a combination of both?
Nah, so yeah, nah. Well, shit. You can't budget. You can't budget what you can't have. So,
That's true.
so if the
That's
average
true.
rent in DC $2,000, and if you only making $2,000 a month, there's so much you could budget. But I mean, you're right. There's some people out here that can afford and they don't budget. So you're right. Financial literacy, but they don't teach you how to budget in school.
And we never learned it from. We learned.
As you go.
Yeah,
Actually,
I don't want to say this, but sometimes we learn fucked up budgeting from our parents.
Yeah, because they never learn.
Yeah,
Like they don't teach us this shit for a reason, and that's why it's such valuable
try to be
information.
money slaves.
Yeah, money slaves. But so that's what I realized. I realized people have cash flow problems.
Mhm.
If you had enough money to pay your bills on time, you would every month.
Right.
As long as you had money to do what you wanted to do, right?
On top of that, yeah.
So what I realized was going back to that people go to work, whether they 75% of people don't like their job and they go to work. They all doing it for money. So once I found out about passive income and residual income and I started making it, drop shipping, stocks, vending machines, rental cars.
I was gonna ask you about vending machines because that's one of the new passive ways I'm looking to.
We could tap into that. I'm for that.
We could talk about another episode.
Bet. Definitely. But that's what I just realized. You have to replace yourself for the time value of money. It's like if I'm at work and I make $50 an hour, the max I can ever make is $50 an hour. And if all they giving me is 8 hours a day, the max I can make every day is $400. But I can sit down and right now get one $400 book on Airbnb.
Right.
And like Alex said,
I had to work a day.
The systems are in place. The people, the processes, the systems. I don't gotta just do nothing but look at my phone and oversee. And it's like once I realized, like once I made that first option sale while I'm at work, and I sold a Chewy stock, and I bought it and I made $500 off of it. Then a couple days later, I lost it all, and I realized, damn, this shit just gambling. I learned how to trade options, but I said, fuck it, this shit is gambling. It's not sustainable, right? But at the same time, when that gave me the mindset to say, oh shit, I just made that shit in off yesterday's work,
Right.
yesterday's research. You see what I'm saying? And I'm real big on building something one time, doing the work one time. Cause I wouldn't say I'm lazy. I just like to work smart and not
Yeah, well,
hard.
that's
I like to work smarter. So you do the work one time, build this shit up,
mm,
and it continually pays dividends.
I don't like that word lazy because you can argue. Some people say I'm lazy, but I'm like, you know what? I don't want to work all the fucking time. Like, yo, I'm human. I want to be. We got one life to live. I don't want to be grinding all goddamn day or all the time because I want to have some time to enjoy.
For myself.
Yeah,
That's right.
you know, huh? So the memory card round speaks. So we just strictly audio right now.
And-
I feel you. That's why I'm. That's why I'm working so hard now.
Yeah, bruh. And it's like, but see, when I use the word lazy, I had to check myself. It's comfortable because this would have happened. DC government. So you're a firefighter.
I'm
So
a DC.
you got
I'm a
your work.
firefighter.
Your work might be a little different, but like I got a desk job, DC government, right? So like it can get comfortable and convenient when your check come every 2 weeks, whether you're doing hard work or not, right? Then at the same time, as opposed to while you sitting at the desk, you get a $400 booking. It's like
It's different.
it's different. And like what I realized was if you don't manage your overhead and manage your finances, you always gonna be in a rat race, even in real estate. I'm listening to podcasts like shit about real estate now and about taxes and all that shit. Like people are in real estate rat races chasing the next deal, living deal to deal. And it's like doing wholesale flips and deal to deal to Uncle Sam spank 'em. So it's like it's making me realize like if I'm gonna do this shit, I have to build a sustainable ecosystem. All I need is passive income streams.
Yeah, but like they said, like you said, right, you can make as much money as possible if your expenses rise up to your newfound money, then you still in the right race.
But that's why I said the first, well, probably
So
the
you
first
still
thing is
need- the
manage
first-
your overhead.
But I say
Nah,
the first thing you need to do is
man-
probably budget. Learn how to budget.
Well, I think that word is just so like.
I get it, but
It's-
like we just said though, if you get, so I heard this from a podcast myself, like if you can't manage the little you have now, when you get more, your mismanagement problems just gonna get infinitely worse.
And
I'm
that's why I
speak
affirm.
I was gonna say I'm gonna speak on that from experience because like you see it firsthand. Like as soon as I started getting money, I got the RA, I got the Airbnb, the house, I got the apartment and stuff, and it's like my expenses took off, right? And then on top of that, I had 2 jobs. Now I'm down to 1, and I'm fighting like hell to get another one because I'm like, yo, I can survive on one, but there's no extras. There's no savings. There's no going out all the time.
I think we all have those stories. Like for example, before I joined the fire department, it's 7 years ago. I was making $20,000 a year at the FBI headquarters, working in the cafeteria. I go to the fire department and more than double my
I'm about to say, don't
yearly
say-
income to back then was 48,000 starting out. Now it's like closer to 60,000 starting out. Still not that much, but back
Not
it
livable
was
in
it
DC.
was more than the $21,000 I was making. Like when I was making $21,000, I didn't have no mortgage. I didn't have
21,000.
a year.
Okay.
A year. I didn't have no mortgage. I didn't have no car. But as soon as I got that money, I gotta have a car now. Like I don't want to live with my parents no more.
Keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah, I don't want to live with my pops no more. Gotta give me a apartment or a house.
I'll add a caveat to
Yeah.
that though.
No, that's true. It's called lifestyle creep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. So here's the thing though. You got the lifestyle creep with keeping up with the Joneses, which is reactive. It's like, I got all this stuff. Now I'm going and the reaction to all the accumulation of stuff that you're now getting, hindsight or relative to that, right? Because again, you said from 20 to 40s, it's a 200% increase or 100% increase. For me, I looked at it as being proactive, right? When I pulled up on you, I was like, yeah, I want to move out, but it's got to make sense. And it wasn't until I got here, I was like, I started looking at all the potential. And I was like, bro, you could do this, you could do this, you could do that. And I only made the decision to acquire that thing because of the avenues that could be created and crafted because of that.
And it's like, call that shit no choice. The shit gonna work. It gotta work.
Right, because now I put myself into a position where
That joke was fucking me up.
They don't need it no more than on the video. So
I over the past 2-3 years, and I seen this dude tweet it, and it made so much sense at the time. Could be dumb, it could be it could be whatever kind of stuff. It's very risky, for sure, very risky. But it was a wholesaler, and he was just like, "Yo, I buy these things to force myself to think creatively because once you get it, you don't want to lose it."
I mean, that's true.
I mean, that's like a sink your ship, burn your ship mentality.
I would say,
and if that floats your boat,
That's why I said it's high risk, high reward, because
it's very like you're more than likely you're going to doom. You're going to fail.
if depending on the style of thought process. Because again, if you think systematized, if you think assets, and if you think opportunity, you can shift that. Because yes, for me, could I be doomed living in here? Yes, but as you saw, I'm calling the best of the best. I'm calling MJ. I'm calling my top people who are in that space already, and saying, let's take what you have, and I'll take 10% of the watermelon versus 100% of the grape. That's okay with me.
yeah.
Because that 10% is me getting my apartment paid for every single month. That 10% is me living in a penthouse at 26 years old and paying less money for rent than most people in America. That 10% is me strategically crafting strategic alliances, right, with people because I got an R8. I can talk to the McLaren owners. I can talk to the Lambo owners. I can talk to these people who are.
Let's do 5 more minutes.
Huh?
Let's do 5 more minutes because we have like an hour.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
We can just chop it up and repurpose it.
That's true.
Yeah, for sure. But I can talk and get into these rooms that I have no business being in because now it's a different perception of me. And it's like, okay, I can either just take this moment in for what it is and just piss it away, right? Like, I'm living my best life. Y'all niggas, y'all hating ass, y'all broke. I'm up here on the rooftop, right? Or I can be like, nah. I'm up here for a reason. Y'all come up here with me. We're going to create different opportunities because in order for me to increase my money, I have to increase the blessings that I give out.
That's right.
So now,
So you like more like the what's it like as like the Moses, like instead of
whoa.
oh no, I ain't gonna say I ain't calling you Moses, man. But here's what I'm saying.
I would say guinea pig.
Here's what I'm saying. Like you're trying to lead others to the water instead of having to feed them all the time and have them leech off.
Right. Because now people, and my mentor told me this when I was 20 years old. Because the same stuff I'm talking about now I was talking about 19, 20 years old. But nobody cared about it back then because I didn't have shit to my name.
Right.
And he was like, and he smacked me with this reality. He was like, Alex, because I remember calling him one day. I was just like, yo, Mr. Battle, like, I'm talking all this good stuff. I'm talking investments. There ain't nothing I'm talking about is scam. But it's like nobody wants to listen. Nobody's pulling up. And I'm having a hard time. He's like, Alex, people are creatures of habit and sight. They need to see something tangible. Because if they don't, then you're in the same bucket as them. And how are you going to tell them what to do if you're not in that position where they want to be at?
Right.
And I was like, damn. So what I did was, for 5 years straight, I said, bet. And I took that shit to heart. I was like, bet. I'll be back. And for 5 years straight, I said, nah, I'm going to put my head down and work. That was it. For 5 years straight, because I didn't go out, I didn't party, I didn't go out having good times, I didn't drink, I didn't do nothing. I went to work, to gym, eat, sleep, back up at 5 in the morning for 5 years straight, right? Because I was like, nah, if y'all need to see something, all right, cool, I'm gonna give y'all something to see. And when I popped out, think about it. In 1 year, I got an IT job, right? I had bought 9 cars. I got a second job like my first job in cybersecurity, right?
Right.
So now I'm like, if y'all want to see something, here we go. And I started using that to my advantage, and to basically be able to craft a lifestyle. Like, all right, cool. If I can't talk to you like an MJ or an Arrow or whoever, if I can't talk to you because you trying to little boy me, all right, bet. Let's rock.
Right.
So again, it's high risk, high reward. But if you play it out right, the relationships that you can set up are lifetime relationships. So it doesn't matter if it's today. I'm playing chess. I'm not thinking, all right, bet I can make money on this joint right now. I'm like, how do I create something that's going to allow me to thrive by 30? It's always chess. It's never checkers. That's why they say Geminis, we just so manipulative. And
Going back to
because it's real shit.
I mean, I feel them. It's like it's a mentality. Like mine's a little different. Like it's like I need that type of fucking mental fortitude and discipline, and I feel like I'd be a beast. Like I'd be unstoppable. But like you said, you can't. Well, this old one of my old mentors used to say, you can't manage what you can't measure, and it's like you gotta have
Smart goals.
those smart goals, those data points, those references to show your progress. But like with me, when it comes to taking risks, like it's wild. When I think about it, I take a lot of fucking risks, but they don't feel like risks to me because they're heavily calculated.
the calculated risk.
But it's still a huge risk. But it's not like a blind risk.
I'm about to say.
It's like I see my hand and I'm making a good bet.
Yeah,
So I'm
exactly.
going blind nine.
So I would be an example of somebody making a blind risk.
Okay.
You know?
Hey.
Like he know my
it's
story.
three different. Yeah, it's three
He
different.
know
yeah.
my story. So I did something similar to what Alex did. I bought 10 cars. I ain't have a system in place. Not having a system. Not knowing how I'm going to store these cars. Not knowing how I'm going to wash these cars. Where I'm going to park these cars.
You was living in the Southeast.
I was living in Southeast. Having someone not knowing anything about the business. Having someone else manage my cars. Like they're telling me they're going to manage the cars. You know. And now I crashed. You know. But learning.
Here's the thing I heard about calculated risk. I forget who said it. But it's like with stocks. You only take a trade if it's a 20 to 1 ratio, right? For 1 unit of risk, right? So 1 risk equals 20 payouts, right? That's the only trades that you take. Because what happens is if you're wrong a whole bunch of times, you only have to be right, and now all of a sudden it outweighs all those times that you're wrong. So as serial entrepreneurs, we take those calculated risks where it's not just 20 to 1, it's 100 to 1. And that's why people are like, nah, that's risky, because they're looking at it from 1 to 100 instead of 100 to 1.
But don't get me wrong, it's definitely risk in that shit before you go because nothing's ever guaranteed.
For sure.
And like, even with stocks, like even like I don't like gambling at all. Like, I like making money, but like if I lose $250, it's a wrap. You can have that shit. I'm not fighting for it back. But like, similar to stocks, same thing. I look at like stop losses.
There you go.
Right? Like I've been in businesses where shit working and then wasn't popping no more, and then like I say, okay, I look at it as like a entrepreneur with successful exits, right? Because none of this shit gonna pop forever. But you gotta do that market research and that due diligence. But I think the biggest thing that I did was learning to just do your research. And like DC government taught me to always get 3 quotes. These motherfuckers just make up anything, right? So I kind of do the same thing. I did my research. I understand the basic. Now let me tap into 3 different people, or really people who are doing this shit. And like I I said, I talked to MJ, I talked to my man Dewan, and I did my own research.
Okay.
So it's like, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna learn from your mistakes. Bet, don't do that. All right, bet. So okay, that my odds of succeeding just went up higher.
That's your stop loss.
That's my stop loss. Other people's experience.
Right.
And I realized I have to stop taking advice from people who aren't no, I mean, because you could get advice from the janitor, but when I say advice, like business advice from like people who aren't doing or where I want to be. When I first got into rental cars, I found a dude, one of my girlfriends, one of her clients' husband had a Manheim dealer's license and he had rental cars. I called him, hey, straight up, can you tell me how the business works? It's exactly how it goes.
It might have been. Was it right?
Huh?
Was it right?
We'll talk about rape. No. We'll talk about rape. But nah.
Not this episode. No.
It wasn't not this episode. That's a whole nother story.
That's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother episode.
Damn, that's everybody I know that know him has bad stories.
I mean, but that's how it goes. You know.
Yeah.
Same thing with Bernie Madoff.
Like, yeah, but like everybody in our ecosystem who's dealt with him,
But that's also how we all came together.
that is very much true. I will give him credit, like he united the Avengers. Like, he was low key. We all had a common goal. Like,
Whoop this nigga ass.
That's funny.
MJ go high.
man, what?
So, but
He's
to
wicked.
that
wicked.
point, again,
But
I'm a glass half full person, right? Remember, like how you just said that. I was like, well, but when you think about it, this happened. And remember when we were downstairs? They're like, nah, you can't do this. You can only get 1 hour or 1 day out of the month. And I'm like, well, if you're saying I can only get 1 day, then I get 1 free shot. So again, you're taking these calculated risks. You have your stop loss. You have a positive outlook on life,
Oh my God.
right?
New booking inquiry, $6,500, July 10th through July 14th.
July, damn.
On the air.
I bet you. It's a New Jersey property.
So you have these calculated risks, stop losses, and this positive outlook on life, but you also have to implement systems in place because if you don't, you create an ecosystem of just being a hustler mentality. I was watching this just on Instagram and shit, and it was like it was this dude, and he was just like the things that you had to do to get here, you have to let go to get to the next phase. Because the things that you did to get here are going to prevent you from getting to the next part, right? Me trying to go out and fix everything in my house, Ron trying to go out and fix everything at all these properties, you trying to manage all these cars, right? Got to be here, got to be there, got to do this, still work, still eat, still go to the gym, still sleep, still have a social life, right? All of that is not going to allow you to get to the next level. That ego in the present is what's stopping you from getting to the next phase, because to get to the next phase, you have to elevate to get to the next level. You can't elevate and still be at the same mentality. That doesn't make sense. You can't go to a higher frequency but still be at a lower frequency doing lower vibrational stuff. It doesn't make sense.
That's the real shit.
Right? So this is why I'm like, yeah, it is tough because you start raising your like keeping up with the Joneses. But it's the way that you do it, because if you're like, well, prime example, when y'all are making $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a year, do you eat the same back then than you do now? Not even close. You eat the same food?
I was eating what my mom or stepmom made for dinner. You know?
Right?
Nigga, I ain't had McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's got I had at the airport. I ain't had Burger King, McDonald's, none of that shit in like 7, 8 years, bro.
Damn.
On
I'm still
everything.
trying to get to that level.
I went to the
You gotta
Bahamas.
elevate.
I went to the Bahamas, and Wendy's was the only thing in the airport. And I ate like a grilled chicken sandwich, but like no nuggets. But I stamped. I probably haven't had Checkers. I see that shit all the time. Checkers, Burger King, McDonald's. I ain't had none of that shit. I eat Chick-fil-A, but I ain't had none of that shit in like 7, 8 years. And you know something funny? My dad said, because you start getting money, nigga. But like, I did it on some health shit. But like, when I think about it,
It's a correlation.
You're right. It's about what you. You're right. What you put in your. What you put. How much money you make is a direct correlation of what you choose to spend your money on.
Right? Because the
Depending
more
on
you
who you
start
are.
getting money, the more you start valuing quality and convenience. You still get to the same place if you get on the plane, if you're in the front of the plane or the back of the plane. When I was making no money, I was like, bro, we all going to the same place and we all going to land at the same time. The only difference is that you getting off the plane 3 minutes before me.
Nah.
But once you get that extra leg room and all that stuff,
And so
That
I'm
access.
this month I'm going to San Diego, right?
right?
And I bought economy over, right? So I'm used to economy. It's cool. I ain't that tall no way. I don't need that much leg room.
Okay.
And I bought first class back. It's twofold, right? One is like, well, Alex, there you go again, raising your damn expenses. You don't need to do that. One, I pay with points. I didn't come out of pocket none of this trip. The hotel, points. The flight, points. Everything. I'm about to just walk and Uber. I don't need to do all that shit, right? I don't need a rental car because I was able to get around. I was going to get around without that in Puerto Rico, but until I realized in that area, he was not doing that.
Walk around, get mauled by a jaguar or something.
Nah, it wasn't that. It was just shit was spaced the fuck out because
That's
it's
what I
the
mean.
country.
Far as shit.
Yeah, because you had to go drive, 20 minutes to go get to Walmart,
Wow.
or you can go to Selectos, out of leche, right? 5 minutes away, but half the shit I couldn't read. I'm like, what?
I'm gonna go ahead and end this joint right quick.
Yeah, go ahead. We just try it. So